As the new Galaxy S21 Ultra hogs all the limelight, its predecessor, the Galaxy S20 Ultra, stands in the shadows, getting basically zero attention. Well, then let's give it some attention. I'm Rohan from TechieTechTech and join me as we check out the Galaxy S20 Ultra an year later in 2021. Here we go. For a vast majority of people, the Galaxy S20 Ultra would definitely be the largest phone they've ever seen. This phone is large in every way possible. It is tall, it is wide, and it is really heavy. Forget one-handed use, even two-handed use can get hard sometimes. We have the typical Gorilla Glass 6 front and back with a glossy aluminum frame in the middle. The entire surface area of this phone has a glossy finish, making it a fine canvas for all the beautiful smudges and fingerprints it accommodates in day-to-day usage. In character with the rest of the phone is the large camera bump to the top left. It's huge and makes the phone wobble like crazy if you use it on a flat surface. I would highly recommend using this phone with a case because it's slippery, it's fragile, and it can easily drop out of your hands. Unfortunately, even with such a large footprint, the Galaxy S20 Ultra has a somewhat forgettable or dare I say boring design. The grey and black color options are mundane and just the design itself does not leave a mark. That's not a bad thing if you want a minimal or understated looking phone, but if you want something that turns heads, the Galaxy S20 Ultra is definitely not it. What does turn heads though is that big beautiful display. It is hands down the best display I've ever used on a smartphone. It is just so good that I can even forgive the fact that it cannot run at its full resolution with its maximum 120Hz refresh rate. The colors, saturation, crispiness and overall vibrance are perfect to give a larger than life look to all the content that you watch. The larger size also goes a long way to provide an excellent movie watching or gaming experience. If you do a lot of that on your smartphone, definitely consider getting the Galaxy S20 Ultra. Another thing that I love about this display is how Samsung has curved the glass. It is a very subtle curve on both the edges, which in my opinion retains the best of both worlds. You get the nice premium look that comes with a curved display while preventing accidental touches and unwanted glare. I really love how they implemented the display on the Galaxy S20 Ultra. Talking of things I love, let's talk software. The S20 Ultra recently got the Android 11 OneUI 3.0 update and things are looking good. The animations are smooth, the performance has mostly been consistent and everything has been bug free. Even the memory management is exceptionally good. The problem lies in the overwhelming feature load. Firstly, you get a lot of features and while they work well, I'm not sure if many users even care for so much stuff. Secondly, you get a lot of Samsung apps and services to the point that there's a Samsung alternative for every Google service. I'm not a big fan of these services, especially the way they show ads, but some people like using them, so I won't go ahead and deduct points for that. What I will deduct points for is performance, at least in some parts of the world. See, some regions get the S20 Ultra with the Snapdragon 865 CPU, which is great, excellent performance and great efficiency. Other regions, however, get Samsung's in-house Exynos 990 CPU and that's a big problem. It's good enough for your social media or shopping apps or even some casual gaming, but not the best when it comes to intensive stuff like serious gaming or video editing. It's also not the most power efficient, so the battery life is not as good as the Snapdragon variant. Now I truly wish that Samsung launched their most expensive phone with the same best CPU globally, but I guess we cannot really do anything about it. If you wish to game or do power intensive stuff on your phone, I would highly recommend buying either the Snapdragon S20 Ultra or maybe look at some other phone. Let's talk about the camera now. This is not going to be an in-depth analysis. If you want that, we'll have a link in the description. This is basically me addressing how the camera is in real life. It has mostly been great. The photos and videos captured on the Galaxy S20 Ultra have looked very vibrant with colors that pop out. This is partly because of a great camera and partly because of the display acting as an excellent viewfinder. I did face a couple of problems though. First, the camera module area overheats after extended use. It gets so hot that holding it becomes uncomfortable. Secondly, there is some weird autofocus issue with the camera which sometimes just makes it impossible to click crisp pictures. This has been partly fixed in software updates but is still not 100% gone though. Apart from this, the camera experience on the S20 Ultra has been flagship level for me throughout the year. Moving on, let's talk battery life. A phone this large translates to a large battery, which is the case here as the S20 Ultra has a massive 5000 mAh battery pack. But the large display along with the power hungry Exynos CPU meant that I got roughly around 5 to 6 hours of screen on time per charge. That translated to roughly 1 to 1.5 days worth of usage, which is great but does not make this phone an endurance champ. You can expect slightly better battery life if you're getting the Snapdragon variant. Lastly, I want to take a moment to talk about a few minor things that enhanced my overall experience. Firstly, the stereo speakers sound excellent. They go a long way to enhance your overall multimedia experience. Secondly, people often complain about the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor being slow and laggy, but in my usage, I found it to be fine. It was in fact really good. Lastly, the phone call experience has been phenomenally good, both in terms of signal reception and overall voice clarity. Now, to conclude, see, the Galaxy S20 Ultra brings a lot to the table, a lot of strengths and a lot of weaknesses. Whether the strengths outweigh the weaknesses depends entirely on the kind of user that you are. I hope this video helped you out, and if it did, help us back by liking this video, sharing it and subscribing to our channel. This has been Rohan from TechieTechTech and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.